But my issue, like I said on the phone when I was in here last night, the first thing I did, my first time last night, by the way, was my first time in this establishment. The very first time I came in and played the video machines, lost a whole bunch of money, decided to come out, get something to eat. And the very first thing I heard from the wait staff was your Jocelyn telling some other new hire that, well, since you're new, you can't receive tips.
Okay, so
And
okay, but just like I was saying over the phone, I feel like one, you heard part of a conversation, and two, like I tried to explain on the phone, I didn't even know that girl was starting last night. So for her to be able to accept tips, anything other than cash tips, there was no way.
But for the head waitress or the lead waitress or the training manager waitress, whatever Jocelyn wants to classify herself as, to tell a new hire, well, since you're a new hire, you cannot receive tips, because that's exactly what I heard. That is exactly word for word what I heard. Since you are a new hire, you can't receive tips. So if they go and they work the table together, Jocelyn's going to get the tips. The new hire is not going to.
Yes, and that is how that goes when they're on training.
And I'm sorry, but
that's not, I'm sorry, but that's not honestly any customer's business, because of how much the waitresses make. The waitresses make more than minimum wage.
I have no interest in what they make, but I know.
Okay, but
I know in general. I know in general, waitresses don't make a shit ton of money. They don't make a living wage. They.
That's how it used to be. That waitress alone.
So are you paying them like $25 an hour to be a waitress? Because that's a living wage. That's a living wage.
Okay, but the state of Oregon's living wage is $13.20, and she started out above that. As far as what a living wage is, yes, I am well aware that people in minimum wage that bracket do not make the amount to live at. I am well aware of that.
That's fine.
But she also makes tips. As for last night,
right, and that counts for the living wage. That accounts for that. That helps compensate.
Have 2 days.
But for a lead waitress, a training waitress, telling a brand new server that they cannot earn tips because
Sir, you're missing the point of what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain it to you the best I can, even though it's really none of your business how they make their money. I guess
you're missing the point of what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not my business, but it was put on the floor when I was here for the one time that I was here. It was put on the floor to where anybody in the restaurant within earshot heard your lead waitress say, well, since you're new, you can't earn tips. That is the conversation in a nutshell. Since you are having a hard time following what I'm saying.
Okay, you are not going to insult my intelligence.
I'm not trying to insult your intelligence, but you're missing the point that I'm trying to say.
Inserting yourself into something that is none of your business.
It was put to my business because I overheard it in a public place.
Was it said at your table?
It was in a public place. Do you understand that?
People have freedom of speech.
Exactly, and so do I.
Okay, but
do you understand that?
Anything issue going?
Anything said in
public? You're not going to step towards me either, because I can definitely call law enforcement for how disgruntled you've been, even after
you can do that. And I'm still not recording your face. I don't want to.
I don't care about. I'm not looking to recording. I really don't.
I am not looking to blast you on my YouTube channel. I'm not looking to do that. But well, I would hope that you would have an opinion to make yourself look good. Since you represent a business.
Okay, and I literally have just...
But if I am in a public place, anything I hear or see can be recorded. And granted, at that time, I was not recording. I was not recording at that time that I heard that.
I wish you would have.
Yeah, me too. Now, looking back at it, I wish I had. But I was in a public place. I was not trespassing at the time that the fucking shit happened.
Way, sir. It was not said to you, about you, at your table, and it had to
But it was something I overheard. And I'm well in my rights to recall that.
Okay, but now you've extended it past the point. You've made me well aware that it was said publicly in the lobby.
But I want the problem to be addressed.
What's the issue? Because it's none of your concern, and she is in there making tips right now on her
Great.
second day of training. I've already explained to you, I inherited this position, accepted it 7 days ago. The GM who quit up and left did not inform me of a new hire starting yesterday. So I had nothing for this new hire to enter with for any customers. I almost had to send her home last night because I had nothing prepared for her to even be here. She couldn't clock in, so I had to go manually enter her in today so that she got paid for yesterday.
Okay.
So again, it's really none of your concern. I appreciate you bringing it to my attention, but now you've had me come in after I was at home with my kids putting 2 babies to bed.
Well, I
Over-
apologize for that. I'm sorry that you have that position where that's part of your job.
I'm not sorry, but I am sorry that you came up here, got what you deserved back
I'm
to
sorry
you.
your waitress overcharged me by $10, half my fucking check last
It was
night when
a
I was here for the
honest
very first
mistake,
time.
and we offered you
Honest
more
mistake.
than what you were overcharged.
Honest mistake. I'm just curious how many times it's happened that people haven't caught, because trust me, I watch my bank account.
That's
I
fine.
watch my shit, and I'm sure there's a lot
Well,
of people
you know
that don't
what?
watch
That
theirs.
waitress has never had an error like that.
Oh, or at least not noticed before. So yeah, you can go ahead and take a stand. That's okay, and I admire that. I admire that.
I don't appreciate the scene you were causing while we were on the phone. I do appreciate
The
that you
scene
moved
that I was
out
calling
to
while
the
we were the scene that I
parking
was
lot to wait for me.
the scene that I was causing while we were on the phone.
I could tell you were raising your voice
I was getting
in the
aggravated,
lobby.
and I asked the man that gave me my first beverage when I was sitting at the
Doug,
counter.
yes, he's been here
Yeah, and he does a good
very
job.
long time.
But see, the problem that I have is she was the one that wanted the tip. Your head waitress, Jocelyn, she was the one that wanted the tip. But she was
Okay.
all she did was take my order. She wrote it down on paper, gave it to the kitchen, made my salad. That was it.
Okay, let
Other
me
than
ask you
collecting my
this.
money.
Did you tip at all?
I was confused as to who to give it to because of all the people that I had
But
involved
did
in
you
my
tip
process.
at all?
I was confused. No, actually, I had none because I was confused
Well,
as who
there
to
you
give it
go.
to.
So why
Had
does
she
it matter if she
had
wanted
she
it or
been
not?
the one that gave me all the service that was required from a normal waitress position, I would have given her a tip. Absolutely, I would have.
Okay, again,
Granted, she did not give me my first beverage. She took my order. She got my order, and then she just like disappeared.
And then Jennifer, the other waitress, took care of you, correct?
Jennifer, is that the new hire?
The new hire, yes.
Then I want to give her a tip
So why didn't you?
because I was confused as to who to give it to. I would like to go back in there right now and give them each half of what I was overcharged last night by your head waitress that gave me basically no service other than taking my order and giving me my check.
Okay, but part of your issue, part of the big issue was that the new hire wasn't making tips last night. Quote
That's
unquote.
what I overheard
Right,
your head
quote
waitress
unquote.
tell her.
But you also did not tip her last night, correct?
Your head waitress? No.
I'm not talking about my head waitress. I'm talking about my new hire.
Your new hire was not my waitress.
So who took care of you?
Jocelyn. Jocelyn was my waitress. I was sitting at the counter. So apparently Jocelyn was my waitress. She was the one that took my
So
order.
other than Doug getting you your first drink, who sat down your food?
Doug.
Okay, and I'll verify that with him.
Okay.
But either way, whoever took care of you the most, considering it was a trainee and her trainer, should have got the tip if it was a cash tip.
But if I
Do you
was,
see what I'm saying?
but with the situation playing out the way it did, I was confused as to who to give the tip to. I had 3 people taking care of me or working on taking care of me. I'm
All
one
right.
simple customer. I ordered a chicken steak dinner,
Okay,
a chicken fried steak dinner,
those are good. I just had those for the first time.
and I'm actually kind of glad that Jocelyn pointed out the difference between what I was looking at and the real one was double. But anyway, that aside. Because I was looking at like the smaller portion one,
Oh,
and she said, "Well, no,
like a value sized one or whatever, where you
yeah,
only get one or
whatever
whatever
that is." But
Yeah.
she did point out that there was a bigger one, an adult size portion. Thank God for that, because I'm an adult size fucking person.
Yeah.
But other than taking the order and giving my check, she basically did nothing. So I don't feel she earned a tip.
Okay, and that is your right as a customer.
Okay, now would you be willing to accommodate me back in there
Oh yeah, I'm going
while
inside.
I give Doug a $5 tip and Jennifer a $5 tip from the service that they gave me last night?
That's fine. Just so you know, the way that this establishment is ran, back of house. So the cook, the dishwasher, and I believe that's it actually. Just the cooks and the dishwashers, they do get a portion of whatever the
Okay,
waitresses make
so if you
on a
give
daily basis.
a waitress a cash tip,
Yes.
they don't get it all?
If the waitress is handed a cash tip, between all the sales of their shift, it prints out, the computer system prints it out. There is what we call a tip pool. The tip pool takes a percentage of all their tips,
Okay, so if I walk in there right
and then
now,
it's divvied to the back of the house.
if I walk in there right now and I give Jennifer a $5 tip,
She gets to keep the tip.
all of it.
Yes.
If I give Doug a $5 tip, he gets to keep all of it, correct?
Right. Okay, so let me rephrase that. Jennifer, cash tips, yes. Credit card tips, that's what goes into the tip pool.
I'm talking a cash tip.
Okay, so yes.
And you will walk me in there to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, I'm going inside.
Because I'm pretty sure Jocelyn don't want me in here no more. And I damn sure don't want to be trespassed from anywhere. I'm okay with it, but I'm not excited about it. All right, so we got a manager to walk us in there to take care of this, and hopefully it all works well. If something comes up, I'll apprise everybody. Y'all have a great night.